Meanwhile, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajudeen Abbas, to disclose the exact amount of monthly running costs allotted to members of the National Assembly. Now, SERAP requested the spending details of any of such running costs as well. This information was made known in a statement dated August 17, 2024, and signed by Deputy Director of SERAP, Kolawole Oluwadare. The group's demand is coming on the heels of the recent controversies surrounding the salary of senators. A former senator representing Kaduna Central, Senator Shehu Sani, states that senators receive over 13 million naira monthly, but the Revenue Mobilisation, Allocation and Fiscal Commission faulted his claim. And to unpack this, we are joined by Deputy Director of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, and that's Kolawole Oluwadare. Good afternoon. It's good to have you join me on the news.
Good afternoon.
All right. Let me kick off by asking, what impact do you think the calls for transparency regarding the National Assembly's running costs will have on public trust in government institutions?
Thank you very much. So it is less about the call in terms of advocacy by various citizens groups, including SERAP. It is more about the National Assembly will react to these public advocacy by being transparent and accountable, and by ensuring that the National Assembly follows the due process of the law and stops the breach of in the payment of whether it's whatever you might, running costs, salaries, allowances to itself, and to ensure that such payments are made known to every Nigerian.
Okay, just to touch upon what you said, you talked about the National Assembly following the due process of the law. Could you expatiate?
Thank you. So this issue of payment of salaries, or what a senator or a member of the House of Rep takes home, is not new, as you rightly pointed out. But what the National Assembly is doing in breaching constitutional provisions and the Revenue Mobilisation, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act is to pay to itself, call it whatever name, running costs, is to breach the provision of these laws. A case in point is Section 84 of the Constitution that empowers the Revenue Mobilisation, Allocation and Fiscal Commission to fix and determine remuneration, salaries and allowances of members of the House of Assembly. And that is also repeated in the third schedule of the Constitution. So if members of the National Assembly say that what they are paying to themselves is running cost also not an allowance that can be situated under the three words that have been used in the Constitution? And the Revenue Mobilisation and Allocation Fiscal Commission has clearly said that it didn't recommend 12 million, 13 million, or 21 million. The commission did not provide for that. But the malfeasance had happened from when the budgetary allocation to the National Assembly was done by strategic transfer every year. Those funds are transferred en bloc as strategic transfer to the National Assembly through the National Assembly Services Commission. And that is what provides an avenue for payment of these running costs. Again, running costs falls clearly under allowances, salaries, or remuneration. The use of running costs is just semantics to confuse. The fact remains, the National Assembly is paying to its members more than what is recommended by the Revenue Mobilisation and Allocation of Fiscal Commission. So that transparency starts from the budgetary process and allocation to the National Assembly. And Nigerians have a breakdown of what amounts to the total budget of the National Assembly per year, how much of that is recurrent expenditure, how much of that is capital expenditure. And it is clearly under that recurrent expenditure that you find the amount that comprises the take-home of the senator. But that amount is not known to the public. So the allocations to the National Assembly from the national budget is by strategic transfer. All we know is the lump figure that is paid. We do not know the breakdown. And that is what allows for payments of such big amounts as 21 million, 13 million to each senator under the guise of running costs or allowances, whatever name so called.
Okay, now talking about running costs, how do you perceive the claim made by Senator Shehu, regarding 13 million naira monthly salary? How do you think that affects credibility of the Revenue Mobilisation, Allocation and also Fiscal Commission?
I don't think that impacts on the integrity of the Revenue and Mobilisation and Allocation and Fiscal Commission. I don't think so. And like I've explained, It is the National Assembly that is breaking the law in this instance. The Revenue Mobilization and Allocation Fiscal Commission, that we call the commission, has done its part by fixing the remuneration of public officers, including the president and the vice president and members of the National Assembly, in fulfillment of the law. But what the National Assembly is doing is paying itself, which is wrong in the first place, paying itself in excess of what the commission has recommended. There is no way we can blame the Revenue Mobilization and Allocation and Fiscal Commission for that malfeasance. It is squarely within the power of the National Assembly. And I've explained how that is done. The Revenue Mobilization has they have control over the allocation of the budget. That is also what the National Assembly does. So it makes that every budgetary cycle, the National Assembly carves out a portion of the national budget for itself by statutory transfer without a breakdown of what is recurrent expenditure, under which the remuneration allowances will come, and what is concurrent expenditure. And that is why they are able to pay in excess of what the commission has allocated for them. And this has little or nothing to do with the commission. It is clearly a malfeasance on the part of the National Assembly.
Disclose the details requested. What would it mean for their integrity or, perception of, to Nigerians?
I think that is why it's important that Nigerians ask this question, and perhaps go a step further. For each Nigerian that belongs to the constituencies of the members of the National Assembly to ask these questions individually for those who are representing them in the National Assembly. Every member of the Senate, every member of the House of Representatives represents a constituency in Nigeria that is made up of people, male and female. The context of this conversation, and perhaps this advocacy, is for Nigerians to own this advocacy and ask those questions from these members of the National Assembly. How much are they earning? Why? Is it justifiable? And I think that is what will bring an end to these, what are termed malfeasance in governance. I think that is the way to go, and that should be the bigger picture. Some sort of critical mass that allows citizens to own this advocacy and to ensure that this practice is stopped.
Dari, Deputy Director, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project. Many thanks indeed.
Thank you very much.